Thank you, My Hero Academia Heroes Rising, because what you did for me with this movie is solidified that Bakugo and Deku, I don't care whether they show it or not, they're definitely gonna grow up and be a couple. I don't care what anybody says. If you got a different opinion, fight me. One for all, full cowling 100%! So My Hero Academia Heroes Rising is the second movie to come out of the My Hero Academia franchise. And I'm not sure if these movies are considered canon or not. They very well could fit into the greater anime universe. But more than likely, just like the first movie, it's probably going to be something that they never mention again. It's just us fans will know it's canon. But either way, I believe this movie takes place a little bit either after this fourth season or later on in this fourth season. There are things that they show and mention that hasn't happened yet in the current season 4. So that also makes me curious as to why they decided to release this movie now. So for those of you that don't know, My Hero Academia is a manga that has become an anime, and it basically tells the story of, in this world, the majority of the world has a form of superpower, which they call quirks. And some people use their quirks for good, some people use their quirks for evil. Some quirks are super flashy, and some quirks are downright useless. And so because of that, those that have the more useful and flashy quirks can grow up to become superheroes. And in order to become a superhero, you have to go to school for it. You have to train for it. And one of the most famous and prestigious schools in this world is UA High School. And so this story follows a boy who goes to UA High School to grow up to become the #1 hero in this world. And granted, there's a little bit more to it than that, but that's basically the gist of the story. And so this particular movie follows Class 1A as they have all been sent to a very remote island off the coast of Japan called Nebu Island, which is an island that's relatively crime-free. And so as part of their training, the pro heroes, the professional heroes, wanted to see how they would act as heroes completely autonomous from the eyes of the school and the pros. And being that the island was supposed to be relatively crime-free, they believed that they would be safe performing a bunch of mundane tasks like mowing somebody's lawn or finding a missing cat, helping somebody across the street, because part of being a hero isn't just the flashy stuff of saving somebody's life, but it's also endearing yourself to the community. But this is Class 1A, and if you are a fan of the show, you know Class 1A cannot go very long without running into some major villains. And so unbeknownst to the greater hero community, Class 1A and Nabu Island are attacked by a group of villains. And now it's up to Deku and the rest of Class 1A to not only protect Nabu Island, but to defeat these villains, but without the help of the heroes that they've relied on from this point on. And I mean, for the most part, just like with all things that have come out with this franchise so far, I really enjoyed this movie. And the thing I love about the My Hero Academia franchise, and the thing I think they do a really good job at, is despite Izuku Midoriya being the main character from this franchise and the one you're really following and the one that essentially telling the story of this world and his journey to become the #1 hero, you are endeared and really root for and want to follow a lot of the side characters, and you root for their journey too to become heroes in this world. And so when the show, and then even when the movie follows these side characters, you find yourself not really missing Midoriya that much, because the side characters are so strong that you do care for them almost as much as you care about Deku. And that's the thing that I love. This movie, you did get to see a lot of the side characters, something that you don't really see that much in this current season of season 4. So it was pretty refreshing to see the rest of Class 1A again. And the thing that I really enjoyed about this movie in particular is that this movie was way more action driven, or had a lot more action in it than the first movie. Like the first movie, you had the one major action sequence towards the end, but in this movie there was action throughout, especially once you get to the third act. And I loved it. And I especially loved seeing the dynamic between Deku and Bakugo. Like I said in my opener, like ever since I first started watching the show, I was like, the tension and rivalry between the two of them, like you could kind of parallel it to Vegeta and Goku, but like I'm like, it's clear that they love each other. Like I don't care, like just get them together. That's all I need. Just let Bakugo have his little temporary fling with Kirishima, and let Deku have his temporary fling with Ochako. But at the end of the day, Bakugo and Deku are the OTP of this entire relationship. It's just like Spike and Angel. Of course, Angel and Spike both love Buffy, but at the end of the day, Spike and Angel are the true romance. Even Joss Whedon said it. And hell, Spike even mentioned in season 5 of Angel that him and Angel were intimate at one point. So come on now. Also liked, after having had almost entire 4 seasons with these characters, that you got to see them act without the pro hero's protection, because pretty much throughout the entire show, anytime Class 1A got into any type of entanglement, the pro heroes were there to save them. But this time around, that wasn't the case, and you got to basically see them cut loose and take all the lessons that they've learned in UA and through their work study programs and all that other stuff. You got to see them put it into action. Even though I did like a lot of the character dynamics between like Bakugo and Deku, getting to see Todoroki work with Ida again, which we haven't seen since the Stain incident in season 2, I believe. And then also getting to see like Aoyama's ultimate naval laser attack. I was like, wow, like a lot of time Aoyama, because of him more or less being the butt of all the jokes in the series, they even mentioned that he's like the last in the class in terms of rankings, and just the fact that he's so flamboyant and then also kind of a coward, which also makes you wonder, why is he trying to be a hero? Getting to see him cut loose with the ultimate attack, I was like, wow, like he's way more powerful than people give him credit for. So that was cool to see. So despite seeing things that did impress me, I do say that like the animation quality for this show did disappoint me a little bit. Like if I would consider the animation for the show PlayStation 4 level, I would say this movie was like PlayStation 3. Although not bad, it's definitely still a dip in quality in terms of what you're used to seeing. So I would say that overall I would have given this show a blockbuster, but there's something that happens at the very end that it dropped my rating and my level of enjoyment for the show from a blockbuster to a hit. But yeah, I'm not gonna say what it is because it's spoilers. Maybe I'll say it at the end of the movie. But yeah, overall I did enjoy the movie. I didn't like it as much as the first movie, and I think it's because of what happened at the end. And also, like, for the most part, like, I don't think anything can top seeing Deku and All Might come together and fight and do that double Detroit smash. I don't think anything can top that, seeing the mentor and mentee come together and fight one time to take out the villain. And then just the way that first movie was animated, like the animation quality on the first movie greatly surpasses the animation quality of this movie. So that alone just excited me in the way that final fight was drawn, and then the music behind it, like, it's just bringing me the feels all over again. So I didn't really have that reaction in this movie, but I still really enjoyed this movie. So yeah, overall, I would say My Hero Academia Heroes Rising was a hit. But for those of you that haven't seen the movie, I'm going to get into spoiler territory on why it dropped from a blockbuster to a hit to me. So if you haven't seen the movie and you don't want to know, so like the video, leave a comment below if you're excited about seeing this movie, but skip this entire last segment of the video. But I thank you for watching. But for those of you that have seen the movie, the reason the movie dropped from a blockbuster to a hit to me is at the end of the movie where Bakugo and Deku basically touch hands and Deku gives Bakugo his one-for-all power, and they come together in this awesome action sequence to take out the villain 9. The fact that it ended almost bringing back the same feels of when All Might took out One for All, and you see the fires of One for All leaving Deku, and Deku's like, thank you One for All, and the fires completely burn out, and you're like, oh man, Deku really gave up One for All. Like, oh wait, I don't know how to feel right now. Like, and then to see his reaction of him crying to All Might, like, I did what I thought you would do, like I did my best to be a hero, like, I'm so sorry All Might, I know you chose me to be your successor, but I gave it to him, he's next. Only for that moment to be completely erased, to have All Might say, oh, One for All did something it never did before, and Deku still has the powers of One for All. It's like, oh, come on. It seemed like to me that was a major cop-out for that moment happening at the end where Deku sacrificed the thing that he wanted more than anything, was to be a hero, and he sacrificed that to be able to take out the villain, only to be like, oh, just kidding, he actually still has his power. The power of One for All just did something it's never done before, conveniently enough. And I was just like, oh, I didn't like that. I didn't like that at all. I thought the way the show was gonna go, and I thought this would have been a great character moment for Bakugo, is if Deku gave him One for All, and now Bakugo is the new wielder of One for All. But by the end of the movie, once Bakugo recovered, he would have given it back to Deku and basically told him, like, he's gonna become the #1 hero without One for All as a crutch, and because All Might chose Deku, he's gonna just give it back to him. He wants Deku to make One for All his own, and Bakugo's gonna prove to himself that he could take out Deku, that has the power of All Might, the hero that he looked up to, and he's gonna defeat even Deku with this power and prove that he's worthy of being the #1 hero. And that's how Deku ends up getting One for All back, because Bakugo chose to give it back to him. That's how I thought the ending of the show was gonna go, but no, it didn't go that way. So because the show ended the way it did, like, it just seemed like a cop-out to me, and that made me go, yeah, I'm not a fan of that. That seems like, it seemed very consequence free. And it's funny that I say that it's consequence free, because I had an argument with my friend and co-host of the Blerd Vision Podcast. You can find the link for that below. We had a full argument about the ending of Frozen and how I really enjoyed the ending of Frozen, but he didn't because it was consequence free. And I was just, and funny is, like, I'm hearing myself say this and I'm hearing myself have the complete opposite reaction to Frozen 2. I guess maybe if Bakugo and Deku broke out into a song, Into the Unknown, maybe I would have liked it more, but I don't know. So yeah, because of that, like, it dropped my rating from a blockbuster to a hit. Maybe it didn't affect you guys the same way it did for you. So yeah, so that's why I would say Heroes Rising for me was a hit. I just didn't like how it ended. But if you've seen My Hero Academia Heroes Rising, what did you think about it? Let me know down in the comment section below. Also, if you can hit that thumbs up button and like this video to really help out the channel. If this is your first time watching one of my videos, please check out the other videos on my channel. And if you like what you see, please subscribe for more and hit that bell notification button so you're alerted every single time I post a new video. And tell your friends, families, and neighbors about my channel to help me continue to grow and go beyond plus ultra. And as always, guys, I'll catch you guys next time.